As you and I join in this battle to chase the King, our second trait is the trait of integrity. Word that gets used a lot, sometimes misused, certainly sometimes misdefined. Some would tell you that integrity is doing the right thing when no one's looking. Well, Scripture tells me, though, multiple times that God is omnipresent. God's never not looking. God's never not aware of me. God's aware of my heart when it's good and when it's not. He's aware of my conduct when it's Christ-like and when it's not. So there's no time when no one's looking. So we can throw that one out. Another definition some use is doing what I told you I would do. Well, I get that, except for this problem. That would make the 9/11 terrorists full of integrity. They said they would come crash planes into our buildings, try to ruin our financial markets, and they did exactly that. And yet I don't know that I ascribe integrity to that group of men. No, integrity in the king-chasing model is when our thoughts, our words, and our deeds align with what Jesus Christ would ask of us. Doing what He would ask of us versus what we want to do ourselves. Again, back to that audience of one concept. In Proverbs, this is written by the wise counsel. Whoever walks in integrity walks in a forward path. They walk securely. But those who walk outside of integrity walk on a crooked path. I go back to a compass. If you start finding your way on crooked paths, if you're lost, you're going to get more lost. But if you find the integral target, true north, and head for that, or base your directions off of that, you'll probably find your way out. Find your way back, we hope, to the King. The three goals that we have built into integrity are simply these. 1, be honest. Speak truthfully and be trustworthy, and I want to add, especially to yourself. In this day when so many college students, but people in general, are telling us of the internal conflicts that they're dealing with, they're struggling with self, much less others. They're struggling just to be and live their life in a way that they know is right, but they tend to go wrong. Speak honestly to yourself. Be a trustworthy person when yourself. Be able to evaluate yourself properly. Next is be sincere. No optics here. Not how it looks on camera and off. Be a person who is sincere. Be genuine. Be a person without deceit. And don't have selfish motives. We go back to love, Jesus, others, and you. Get that hierarchy right. And then, let's move on into the third piece, have self-control. I know, red cards, technicals, all those things, ejections. Yeah, I'm asking you in Christian code, even in athletics, to be a person who's self-controlled. Remain disciplined at all times, and when you fall, or when you fail even, recommit yourself to the goal. We're going to fail. This is not a chase for perfection. It's an imperfect soul trying to chase a perfect King to grow closer to Him, more like Him. Am I going to achieve perfection this side of heaven? I don't believe so. And with all due respect, you're not either. But you can continue to chase. You can continue to target the King and that target. I'm reminded of a great old proverb. It's a young warrior, Indian, and he comes to the chief of the whole community. And he's pleading with the chief that he has this battle going on inside. He knows he's to be the heir to the leadership of the tribe. But he has these two wolves, these two conflicts fighting inside him. He says the first is selfish, envious, prideful, egotistical, looks inside, not out. And he doesn't like that one. He says the other one is kind and humble and serving and joyful. But he asked the wise chief, which wolf's going to win? The chief simply looked up and said, whichever one you feed. We have to stop blaming how we are and what we do on culture and everything else. On our peers, our coach, our circumstances. You realize that Jesus Christ has helped human beings out of every imaginable circumstance possible. Every single one. Too rich, too poor, too clean, too dirty. Christ has helped someone rise above all of that. There is no excuse you and I have for feeding the evil wolf inside of us. King chasers, chase a realistic goal to chase a real king, and we'll cheer you on.